Afrox is sub-Saharan Africa's market leader in gases and welding products.
So gases, of course, get used in hospitals, in carbonated drinks, in welding machines, in all sorts of things. So these are the specialty gases, like oxygen and yes, that's carbon dioxide.
But I remember many years ago really talking to the CEO about the fact that there was a dearth of supply.
Indeed. Exactly. Remember, a couple of years ago, you couldn't buy coolies anywhere because they were all, unavailable. There was no carbon dioxide.
Market cap here, 6.6 billion rand, a PE of 10.2 and a dividend yield of 4.9%. Again, share price graph will give us a sense of where we stand and flatline there, Grant.
Yeah, I think they've got a really strong competitive position when you look at the local industry. But this company is also very, very closely geared towards heavy industry, manufacturing, and a factor of GDP growth in South Africa. So I know you're very bullish on the long-term agricultural space, long-term water space, but this, I think, is really a call on the long-term trajectory of the South African economy.
Which I'm a little more somber on, I have to admit.
Yeah, so for example, one of their major customers is the automotive manufacturing industry because they're specialist gases that get used in welding the exterior of a new car. For example, in a Toyota manufacturing plant making taxis, or those BMW plants that they have near Roslyn. Those are only doing as well as they're doing at the moment. Maybe there's a little bit of anxiety there. Hospitals, okay, hospitals is a good solid consumer of their products.
People probably going to get more sick in tough economic environment because of the stress.
But as we know, the South African economic kind of outlook and specifically healthcare has been a bit mixed. One other thing to say about this company, I don't know whether this is a strong plus or not, is it's a foreign-held subsidiary of the Linde Group, which is the German gas company or
this is Linde.
Correct, which bought BOC, which was previously Afrox's holding company. So what happens sometimes with those kinds of situations is the global company has got all sorts of things going on, and South Africa is like less than 1% of the total global group.
It can be a bit of a management distraction, but at the same time they could also be distributing further products once we see a bit of an economic recovery.
And the yield on the dividend can be good because the global company typically wants its money. So if you're a minority shareholder alongside them, you get to benefit from the high distributions as well.
Grant, maybe just taking a step back here. At Nedbank, what is the outlook for the South African economy? When will we see a turn? I mean, obviously everyone talking about a technical recession, let's just call it what it is. We're in a recession. When are we coming out of it?
We are. Of course, growth is very closely linked to policy. So I think until we see any major policy changes, growth will still be very, very benign. We have seen some recovery, of course, in the commodity price and agricultural, but we really need the services economy and manufacturing to come and start performing. And that, unfortunately, I think is due to policy. So very,
Five
very
more
muted.
months of pain.
Well, even 5 more months, I think a longer time frame. I still think it will take some time
to reverse policies and put the right policies in place.
I've just realized the CEO of Afrox, my confusion about Afrox and AECI continues. The CEO of Afrox is Skalk Venter. The guy who's doing a good job at AECI is Mark Dietor. So my comments, though, about both of them are the same. Both doing a good job operationally, both having cut costs and repositioned the businesses.
So you don't want to retract anything that you said about AECI
no,
because you thought that they were Afrox.
So when the PR firm phones and says, "You fool, what are you doing over there?" Please I can say, well, watch the second half of the show.
I'll use that as well because I'm sure we're going to get lambasted, hot or not, on Afrox.
I'm also not too constructive and positive on Afrox, unfortunately.
Hot?
No, I think we can afford to pass. The earnings not necessarily going to be super out there, so not hot.